I assume asexual counts. Well, kid talking here. When I came out to my mum, she basically went, yeah, that's fine, but remember to still be open-minded about all the sex and romance stuff despite that. A few days later, for some reason we jokingly compared sexualities to noodles, spaghetti, and she basically said, well, you asexuals are like a very niche type of rice noodle cause you're so damn fussy, and I still think about that statement and smile. Pretty sure we're the garlic bread side order smiley face. Garlic bread is the best part anyway. Of course the ROA spectrums count as LGBTQ+. My little brother officially came out a few years ago. He was 12, I think. The fact that he was part of the LGBT community was not a shock to anyone in my house, but what was shocking was that he told us that he was bi. When he said that, everyone just kinda looked at him funny, not being judgmental or hateful, just surprised, and my dad just kinda went, well honey, you can be whatever you want and we'll always be there for you, but I'm 99% sure you are just 100% gay. A few weeks later he was just like, yeah dad, I'm 150% gay, ha ha ha. I've got one kid who's gay and one who's ROA. I had read something the gay one wrote on a social media platform they didn't know I was on, so I already knew when they got around to telling me. Said, okay, I'll always love and accept you. When the ROA's kid told me, it made a lot of sense. I always told the dad that it would take one hell of a special person to turn their head, and I didn't know if such a person exists. Now I know just how impossible that is. Lol, sorry, but what is ROA? Aromantic asexual. The first means that you don't feel romantic attraction, and the second means that you don't feel sexual attraction. I came out as gender fluid to my mom last summer. She was accepting, but recently told me she hopes it's a passing phase. She thinks that I spend too much time on the internet because I haven't been working, and while it's true that I learned what being gender fluid means from the internet, my feelings are my feelings. If it's too hard for her to wrap her head around, that's on her. You are exactly right. As a genderqueer adult, the most important thing I've learned is to trust what I know to be true about myself, regardless of what other people think. I can't control them, but I can control me, and that's what counts. I have previously worked with sex education specifically regarding LGBTQI, and internet can be such a wonderful thing regarding this. You are who you are, but it's so much easier with information. I have met so many kids, teenagers who I think got an easier time figuring stuff out with some more information. Easier to have words to describe, easier to understand yourself. Without your knowledge of gender fluid, maybe you would have misread yourself as something else, and that had probably been a less straight, pun intended, road to a good life. Being gender fluid, queer, etc. is so awkward because everyone always trying to know what you are. I can't wrap my head around my own gender identity, as I always wanted to be male and felt male, but I can't escape the feeling that my interests and way of life is feminine. I'm sorry that she wants it to be a phase, but I think it's really awesome that you're standing up for yourself and saying that your feelings are your feelings, because it just inspires confidence in the rest of us who can't escape the feeling that we have to fit into one or the other. As you're all parents, maybe you can offer me some help. I'm 14 to 16, bisexual and struggling to find the right time to tell my family. My parents might even know by now, I'm not sure. Can you tell me what reactions to expect and where your children found to be the right time, place? There is no way to predict how your parents will react, unfortunately. We don't know your folks, and there's a whole spectrum of ways they might feel about your coming out. I would say that the best time is a time when it's just you and them, somewhere private, and the best way is to lead with something like, Mom, Dad, I feel very comfortable with you and I trust you a lot, so I want you to know that I'm bisexual. It doesn't change who I am, but I've been wanting to tell you for some time, because it's important to me that I can share this with you and be open about it. Hopefully. Reminding him that you love them and that you're relying on them to continue to be people you trust will help them keep the cool if there's a chance of them losing it in the first place. Don't feel like you have to come out at all, though it's up to you when, how, and if you come out, and your sexuality ultimately isn't actually anybody's business but yours. Good luck. Obligatory not to parent. I'm not 100% sure there is a right time or place. Best time I can think of would be maybe when it's just the three of you, unless you have siblings who can break the ice or ease the potential tension after dinner or something. As for how they'll react, impossible to say. We don't know anything about them. Are they level-headed, calm, prone to outbursts, deeply religious? Do they want what's best for you? That last one is the biggie. That'll really define how they react. Sorry I couldn't ease your anxiety by telling you they'll be cool with it. Skeptical smiley face. They should be, but people are shit, so no telling. Don't leave it for the right time, otherwise you'll end up 32 and still in the closet and regretting it like me. Good luck with it. It's difficult to know what the reaction is really going to be, but one thing I will say is that it's your choice to come out or not. Social media, mass media seems to put out the message that coming out is an important part of being LGBT, but it's not. If you wanted, you could tell absolutely no one about your sexuality, and if it made you happy, that would be fine. My point is that it's important for you to do what you want to do regarding people knowing about your sexuality. You're not a traitor for not coming out. You shouldn't be ashamed for not wanting to come out, but if and when you're ready. Another point I'll make is that if you think there's a good chance your parents will have a bad reaction to it, it may be best to wait. Now obviously this is up to you to evaluate and decide. But you need to put your safety and quality of life before any point of pride or perceived integrity gained by coming out. By the time you get to college, university, things will be a lot easier in how people receive you as LGBT, so that might be something to bear in mind. Best of luck. I suggest just asking him how they feel about the LGBTQ+ community and or how they would feel if you theoretically came out. Just my idea, and you certainly don't have to do anything that you don't want to. Can the parents here adopt me? When I came out they just said that I'm gay. I'm not a parent, but I can adopt you. I'll be your mom for a while. And as your official mom I'm here to say you're so beautiful and gay, and that makes me love you even more. Take care, you're amazing. Thanks mom, I needed that. And I can be your dad for a bit. Here, I want to say that what's important in life is trying your best and finding the right person to share your love with. Whether you're gay, straight, or anything in between. I'm proud of you. Thank you for sharing this part of your life with your mom and me. Stepdad checking in. Love who you love, sleep with whoever, doesn't bother me, love you regardless of any of that. Just make sure you're doing your homework and studying hard. Oh wow, the family's growing. I sure will, stepdad. I don't know if I'm old enough to be your mom, here. But I can be your big sister. I'm proud of you for being so open with us. Please never forget that no matter who you choose to love, you will always be a part of our family and we will always love and support you no matter what. Thanks for being accepting, sis. I would adopt you too, but I just can't be that accepting. The gay I'm cool with. The Slytherin, not so much. How dare you not accept my edginess? I'm sure it's just a phase. It's not just a phase, Mom. Honestly, my mom adopts children who need mothers all the time. It's possible that someone is willing to be your totally awesome mom. Maybe check out a local PFLAG group. I'm trying to get my mom involved in her local because they need the sort of love she has. Also a big internet hugs to you. Remember that you are loved and worthy. I might be a 30-something gay dude, but send me a message if you need encouragement or some general parental love, and drink some water, and eat something. You're a twig. When I came out bi, but I told him about the bi, my mom denied it for 2 years until I confronted her in the kitchen and snapped and she sobbed. Cancelled family dinner that night and asked me to leave the house for a bit. We're cool now and she's totally okay with LGBT stuff, but damn, having that be the initial response really sets an innate fear about all future coming outs. Got caught reading online about how to come out. so I guess that problem solved itself. I'm asexual. I'm out with close friends, they're all LGBT plus friendly. I just casually told them, and my boss is a romantic, so I felt comfortable telling her. I wear my black ring in public. Asexuals can signal that they're ace by wearing a black ring on their middle finger of the right hand. However, my family is completely oblivious, and I prefer it that way. They have a hard time accepting gay people. I'm sure they won't even think asexuality is a real thing. They'd probably just say I'm broken or frigid, so I'll just let them be oblivious and continue to hound me about when I'm going to get married and give them her babies, nieces or nephews. My mom found gay porn magazine hidden under the carpet in my bedroom after we had a flood in the basement. So my mom doesn't have a Reddit, but I'll do this for her. Back in like 2009, I was in secondary school when I had a crush on one of the popular girls of the school. We never really talked since I was a loner back then. Though we never really talked, I felt a really powerful connection with her. I talked to my mum about, and she was so kind to me. She talked about how I could be who I wanted to be and love who I wanted to love. Skip to a few years later. We got together by talking and then being close friends. Still to this day I'm with her and we are planning to get married next year. Kids have huge tells and they don't keep quiet about things they don't see as secretive. I have an older cousin who's gay. My mom told me about a time when she was over at her sister's house when he was 4, would have been about 1960 or so, and she saw him looking out the window and asked him what he was looking at. He said, "I'm looking at the birds. I want to be a bird." She asked him, "Why do you want to be a bird, Michael?" And he said, "So I could fly up to heaven and God could make me a girl." He's a gay man. That was just the only way he could express how he felt at age 4. My mom said it was the first time she understood that being gay wasn't a moral defect, but an innate part of someone. My parents were apparently completely oblivious. This is despite the fact that my mum caught me reading diaries of other trans women when I was 15 or so. And at 16 my dad interrogated me over me liking men. I tried my hardest to talk my way out of both times. They got dropped and then apparently forgotten because it was somehow a huge shock when they learned of my first boyfriend and when I came out as trans. Not my kid, but a kid I was a nanny for. I knew when he was probably like 7 to 8. He's in college now and we're friends on Facebook. The wearing makeup dresses still surprises me, but it's cool. I like his stuff when I see it. No, never really had any suspicions. When she told me she was gay, it was completely a non-event. I just said, "Okay, cool." And that was it. I literally don't care if she's gay or straight, as long as she is happy and is with someone that treats her well, I'm happy for her. When I told my dad that I was bisexual, I'm a female, he wasn't at all surprised. He said that he had kind of figured it anyways because of how I was as a person. I'm very strong-minded, not fond of conventional relationships, and I showed no interest in men. My dad said he knew since I was a child that I would never be someone's housewife. But he thought as I got older that I might just not be into men at all. Also, I was only surrounded with women and only talked about women, and he eventually put 2 and 2 together that one of those women might just be more than a friend. I'm happy dating a man now, but my father has always said that as long as I'm happy, he's happy. And he has supported me while I dated women in the past, so I know he's not all talk. He's a good dad. Hey, you watched all of this video. Thank you so much. Subscribe and watch another content by me.